So we left off interested in Vioris Cambridge Harris McPherson. Okay. And this is a woman that we believe is Kamala's grandmother. So I'm just going to show you the side by side of Kamala and Vioris. I'm going to show you the extremely black woman that we are shown a picture of. A picture that he claims he captured of Kamala sitting on Miss Iris's lap. Now, I have received, by the way, a note from a woman who is in her 70s who swears that she knew this family and that that woman there worked for the family. As we worked to get in touch with her, she's a bit older, a trust family. She claims that she worked for the family for so long, didn't want to leave, and that is, in fact, a picture of the help, which would be wild. So white Iris, who died in Broward County, we know for a fact now that she is related to Kamala Harris. And Kamala Harris must answer for this. She absolutely must answer this. You cannot be posting up pictures of you with a black woman saying that it's your grandma, okay? You cannot do that. And then come to find out there was another woman who you look much more like, and we have all of the evidence in the world that she is your true grandmother. That is just, it is too wild. It is just too out of pocket. We are going to need answers to that.
Okay, so it's coming out that Kamala is not black. Do you think that this is going to change the people's mindset that was voting for her because she was just black? Does that make you guys not want to vote for her? What do you think? Go ahead, Pronto. You've been shaking your head. You go first.
Nah, I think whoever is going for Kamala is already convinced that she's black enough. I don't think it'll change most Democrats or even Republicans. I mean, whatever side you sway on, you pretty much have stayed on what you believe. So I don't think, yeah.
Okay, Trigger, I see you holding up the Black Power sign. Go ahead.
Yeah, and it's the whole thing is stupid. Like, her race does not matter. It is a danger to think of that man getting back in office, Trump, and to me, she's on a better side. Of course, I'm a Democrat. So, that's not going to sway anybody. It's grasping at straws, trying to muddle something that people don't even really care about anymore. And it's really a sad attempt at something that's so pointless and a moot point. It doesn't matter. She's in black culture. She went to HBCU before she even knew she was going to be president. She did that. If you do that, even if you're a white person, you can do an HBCU, a Divine Nine organization. And guess what? As a white person, you're considered in the black culture. She has African roots. That's just, there's nothing they have done to disprove that. And because you got some source that says that it could be true because you think you have, she even said, she couldn't even confirm that it was sources, like legit sources that said that was, a grandmother figure that was really her grandmother. It's BS. It's all BS. It's silly. And it's like, it's funny watching y'all trying to, muddle the actual candidate that makes the most sense. And that's the most sane. Because your mascot is losing, so I think it's BS. But
you don't have the temperament of a biomedical engineer that you said earlier. It's not matching.
She did not say engineer.
Yes, she did.
She's a chemist. She's a chemistry degree.
Yeah, I have a chemistry degree.
Yeah, that's not an engineer.
I'm taking biomedical engineering classes.
Okay, never mind.
I'm doing tissue engineering. Yep.
Anybody disagree with Trigger? Y'all don't have to be mute. You can disagree with her or anybody. Y'all agree with Trigger?
Vote Kamala. Vote Kamala. Come on, y'all.
I don't necessarily agree with Trigger. I mean, at the end of the day, Trigger's just saying that Candace Owens can't prove that she's not black. But
but she can though.
But I think either way it goes, I think that we get tricked every 4 years by anybody who's running for presidency, and especially as Democrats. I'm not a Democrat, but I think Democrats get the most. The best Oscar-nominated candidates possible. You know what I'm saying? I think that the way Kamala acts now that she's running for president it's like she's trying to act blacker, if that makes sense. I think all of her interviews, she kind of talk with an attitude. She kind of talk like she understands the culture and stuff like that. When before she didn't speak like that. Well, when she was going for vice presidency, she didn't act like that and speak that way. But now that she's running for presidency and it's all of these tabloids coming out that she's not black, it's like now I'm seeing this whole onslaught of her being like super sister, and it's like it's crazy.
Good point. Valerie, I saw you.
And going to an HBCU does not make you black or add you to the black experience. There's lots of white people that go to HBCUs simply because they get the better scholarships to go there, and they actually do not immerse in the culture at all. I went to HBCU. There was plenty of white people that were there, and they were there on scholarship to play a specific sport, and they actually went to none of the black experience activities that would happen on campus. So that definitely doesn't make you immersed in the black experience just by going to HBCU, because the majority of white people that go, they don't go to any of the events.
That's a good point.
Yeah, well, I definitely didn't say anything that you just said. I didn't say that she was that it made her black. I said it made her part of black culture. And absolutely, if a white person does a Divine Nine organization, they are in black culture, because Divine Nine organization has black roots, and you are considered in black culture if you do the organization. I'm not talking about the Caucasian people who get in there with a scholarship and don't go to any of the things. No, they go to the black things because they want to be in a black organization, so they are considered in a black culture, and her being black does not matter. She's the better girl.
When Biden went to HBCUs, does that consider him part of the black culture because he went there during his election term?
I just said going to HBCU doesn't make you part of the culture. Doing the Divine Nine organization does. If Biden
what is doing the Divine Nine? What does that mean?
I think.
What does it mean to do the divine line? What does that mean?
Sorority, so that's why she's saying that.
This girl right here tells us she wants to be a medical doctor with her tongue hanging out online.
No, she's.
There are Omegas who are doctors, and they do that. So I don't know what you're trying to prove, sir.
Let me just say this. I think that people that vote Democrat are idiots. I think that they're probably the worst group of people that I've ever encountered in my entire life. You know, I went and kicked it with family today for a second. And the first thing that they asked me, because these are family members that I haven't seen in a while, and shout out to them because it was all great. And so we all exchanged pleasantries and, oh my God, Anton, I love you, you know, whatever, blah, blah, blah. They all got my phone number. They can get in touch with me whenever they want, right? But we kicked it. And then they couldn't wait to get into the political conversation. You know what they asked me? Of all of the things that they could have asked me, well, what do you think about Project 2025? You know, I just can't believe we have some of the most educated people on the face of this earth. Y'all say that HBCUs put out some of the most educated, successful professionals that we've ever seen. Yet y'all not even cognizant enough. And me, I'm a C student, so maybe I'm just the idiot. But y'all not even mindful enough to be able to substantiate your argument by first saying that, because I've actually done the street interviews. Like I have 4 street interviews. One of them dropped, I think yesterday. Was it yesterday or the day before? One of them dropped yesterday or the day before yesterday. And I sit and I listen to these people that are college educated, mostly black women, 90% of the black women, and then you got the simps that's with them. And they'll say that they're voting for Kamala Harris because she's black. Then you start to find out when you go down the rabbit hole that she's not black. And then they try to act like it's not an issue. When I first brought up the whole idea of identity politics, they said that I was wrong because we need to align ourselves with people based off of their color or their skin. Then when we find out, or we starting to deep dive down this rabbit hole that it's a possibility that she's not black, all of a sudden it don't matter no more. So now you on my side of the fence. You on my side of the fence when you tried to disprove me when I said that y'all shouldn't be voting based off of identity and you need to align yourself based off of policy and logic. and how your family is then going to be affected long term, which is one of the reasons why these people are the biggest group of idiots that I've ever seen in my entire life, is because the very thing that they tried to use to disprove people that said that identity politics is the dumbest thing that you could use in order to justify the vote for somebody else is the very thing that's coming back to bite them. And then now that they looking stupid, they're acting like identity politics don't mean anything, when that's the thing that they tried to weaponize against the people that said that you shouldn't vote based off of color, which means that y'all just racist, evil, racist, bigoted people. That is literally the reflection of what the Democratic Party was in the first place. You can't get away from your roots. You can't get away from your heritage. The heritage of this party was established based off of racist principles. And when I see people say that I'm a Democrat, if you're not saying it out of ignorance, then that means that not only are you voluntarily ignorant, but you're just a fool. Because why would you then align yourself with a party whose basis was to enslave you and keep you enslaved in the first place? That means that not only do you not know your history, but you just a voluntary fool. You willfully ignorant.
Anybody who knows anything.
I'm sorry. Give me a second. You're willfully ignorant. That is the very definition of a fool. Knowing that the path is dark down there and they got robbers willing to beat you up and take your virginity, and you walk down there with your skirt up. That's what I see Democrats doing. They're walking down the streets with their skirt up. And let me tell y'all something else. And let me just say this. And I had this conversation earlier. These people that's foreigners, these Nigerians and stuff, they don't even fuck with y'all. They don't even like y'all. The very ones that they letting in to displace you, they don't fuck with you as Americans. They think you lazy. They think you trash. They think that you entitled, that you weak. I'm telling you listen, I can't wait to release some of these street interviews. When you let people get comfortable enough to say what they really think, they letting you displace yourself because you a fool. And now they aligning themselves with the Democratic Party while at the same time replacing you and taking your job. They don't fuck with you. You think that identity means something to them? Go and date one of their daughters and see what their father say. They don't fuck with you. They look at you as a smoked out, broke, dusty, and they actually despise you worse than the very ones that you want to align yourself against, as far as the ones that's giving you all of the freedoms to be able to achieve the American dream. They don't fuck with you, bro. All of these women, these black women, they not fucking with y'all. They look at y'all as for the streets. They look at y'all for the streets. They just don't say the quiet part out loud. So all of these Haitians and Nigerians is walking over here and they fucking taking your jobs. They quiet because you giving it to them. And that's their new voter base. They don't fuck with you the way that you think that they do. And so y'all some fools, because when y'all align yourself against American culture, when that's all you knew and that's all you grew up in, and you keep trying to be a part of the cool kids club, you'll see, you'll find out. You'll find out. Your kids is going to pay for the sins of their fathers. You can say what y'all want to say now.
So, yeah, that's just crazy rhetoric, because if you walk down somewhere in an alley with your skirt up, your president might grab her pussy, because y'all president is a misogynist who is disgusting, who is hateful, who is a racist, and y'all are the ones who are promoting racism. And we know, anybody with any sense who's been following politics understands that the origins of the policies have switched, and that Democrats are about taking care of the poor. They do want to keep the Medicaid to help those who need help, and Republicans don't want that. So if I am a Christian who cares about the poor and wanted a system that has been verified to work, to stay in place, I think I'm going to vote for the party that wants to keep that in place, and not the party who wants to dismantle it, despite what the roots are. It would be silly to vote off of what they used to be in their creation if the current policies do not match up with what they want, with what you want. If I want the poor to be taken care of, then I'm going to vote Democrat. And everybody knows that. Everybody knows the Republicans are trying to get rid of welfare and all this other stuff from conflated, silly arguments about how it's hurting the nation or people are getting away with it when most people on there are not taking advantage of it. And they've gotten better and better every year at catching those who try to fraud. And so that is the nonsense. That is the hypocrisy. That is silly. That is the racist party, is the Republicans. They do not take into account all the racial ties that do keep people into poverty, and they don't care. And the fact that most people on
Y'all got to
welfare
get me
are
somebody up here
Caucasian
that's
anyway.
actually worth
They don't
debating
care.
against.
So
Y'all
I
got to get me somebody up
I've
here.
never wanted to vote for Kamala because she was black.
100%,
I've always
bro.
said it was because of the policies. Always.
Y'all got to get
And
me somebody
if
up
somebody
here
wants to vote for her because she's black, I'm all for it. Also, I'm going to be making a video called "Why You Shouldn't Vote for Trump." Forget supporting Kamala.
That's cool. Y'all got to get me up here somebody that's worthy of debating. This chick is trying to fly in a Nigerian to get this nigga a green card. What the fuck I'm supposed to do with that? Why you look? This chick down here is fucking trying to get a Nigerian in here to get a green card. Of course you want the borders open. Ain't nobody fucking with her in the United States of America, and so that's why she feel compelled. Listen, she just talking.
Nigerians are not here. It's Haitians, by the way. Nigerians are not over here, and Haitians are here legally on our little plan we have for immigrants. So you
Like
just
I
added
said,
Nigerians in there just because, you know.
Listen, you're loud, you're loud, and you're wrong as usual. And I know you don't mind doing that.
Am I though? That's for y'all to do.
You're loud and you're wrong. And so it's kind of difficult because sometimes I think to myself, okay, so should I disprove her or should I look crazy by getting into the mud and wrestling? You know what I'm saying? Like,